Hello and welcome. I'm Zach Hartle. I'm an instructor, and you know what? Now we're online. So what this video is for is going to be to review and take a quick look at how to use Microsoft Teams effectively as a classroom. Either I'm your instructor and I brought you to this video, or one of your instructors sent you to this video, and either way, that's a good thing. That means that we want you to be as engaged as possible and use Microsoft Teams as a powerful tool as our classroom as we are learning remotely from our homes, hopefully. So thanks for checking this out. You know what? Let's hop on the PC and let's get started.
Okay, so first up, what I want to do, and now this would be if I'm accessing it for the first time, or if this is how I want to access it, that's okay too. If you've already got the app installed, you can just click on the timestamps below and jump ahead till we get into the actual functionality. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to office.com. I'm going to log in using my institutional credentials. So sign in. So this brings me to my Microsoft Office 365 homepage where I can access lots of functionality. So if I want to install all of the apps, I can just click the install button up here on the top corner. I have access to all my programs: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, which is going to be very useful for managing my student email account, as well as my calendar will all show up there. And I can download the Outlook app as well to my cell phone, and that's going to work really well. OneDrive, which is a cloud file storage, which is great for storing any assignments that my instructors might assign, and I can easily upload those right to my D2L or Brightspace or any learning management software. OneNote, which is a great note-keeping notebook, basically, that you can use, as well as your instructors may use it to share some notes with you. The one I'm here for is Microsoft Teams, so that's what we're here for today. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Teams. And what we notice when we open Microsoft Teams is it will open actually right here on the web browser. It just has limited functionality and it operates a little bit slower, I find. So it gives you the option. You can use the web app and you can stay completely online, or you can actually download and install the app to your computer. Now this is the Windows app, but they also have a Mac version as well, which works great. So I already have the app installed, so I'm going to click Get the Windows app and use that. And then I'm going to open up the program on my computer. And once again, it's going to ask me to sign in. So then we have Microsoft Teams opening up. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on here, so we're quickly going to kind of go through and look at some of the functionality. So first of all, here on the left-hand side is kind of where I see all of my main sections. So it will walk you through a little bit of an orientation, but I'm going to show you what I think will be important to your learning. So here is this is called a team. So you can see electrical school, that's my team. And within the team, you can have what are called different channels. So depending on how you're structured, you may have a different team for each course, or you may have one team and then different courses as different channels. So it really just depends. So here what we do in electrical school is we just have one team, and then within it are all of our channels for our different courses. So starting here, right, that's the difference between teams and channels. One of the big things to look at here that we're going to spend some time on is the student cafe. So we'll hang out in here a little bit and just kind of look at how we should interact within a channel. So within a channel, I have two options. So I can start a new conversation by clicking this new conversation below. So this would be, I could say, hello, everyone. I'm having trouble with question 2. Any advice? Right, so this will get posted to the channel for everybody to see. Right, so now everybody sees this. They say, oh, okay, Michael Faraday has a question. One other really handy thing that I can do here is if I want to do a little bit more formatting, I can press that format button and it'll open up and give me a lot more options where I can insert links or embed things. But one also thing that I can do here is if I want to get everybody's attention, I can say hello, and I can mention people or tag them. So what I would do here is I would go at, And then if I want to tag a specific person, I can say, oh, Zach Hartle, he's the instructor. I could say, when is the assignment due? Right, so if you want to reach out to your instructor within a channel, you can tag them, ensures they get a notification. Right, so that would go as a new conversation. Now what happens is with the conversation, if I want to reply directly to this conversation up here, I don't hit new conversation. I hit this little reply button here, and I could say, oh, never mind, I figured it out. So that's the difference between starting a new conversation or replying to an existing conversation. We can also look at tagging different people. So a really cool thing I can do within this channel as well. This one specifically is my student cafe. So your instructors may or may not set this up. I personally set this up for my students. I want them to use this for any content questions so they can collaborate and work together. But what I can do is if I want, I can meet here. I can set up a meeting and I can meet with my classmates, have a video conversation, or I can, schedule a meeting for later so we can actually get together at a certain time and work with my whole class or members of my class together. So that's what I see within that channel. So that's the teams on the side, and that's kind of how those break down. Now, if I want to, while I'm here, adjust settings, I can go into the settings just for that one channel, and I can actually set what notifications I will receive, right? So that's kind of a cool feature there. The next tab down is the assignments tab. Now your instructors may or may not use the assignments tab depending on how you are structured your learning. So I can see I have no assignments yet, but if my instructors were using Teams assignments, they would be here, and you can see all of that as well. One of your most useful tools within Teams is going to be your calendar function. So the calendar is going to show you all of your upcoming classes, right? So your instructors will send out these classes. So here I am next week. My calendar is not completely populated yet, but I can see that my instructor, Zach Hartle, has set up 2 code classes. So what's really cool here is when the time comes, if it's Monday at 1 p.m., what I can actually do is I can go right here into the calendar. And once the meeting is actually started, I can actually be able to join the meeting right from here. So the calendar is really good for that. Or I can also, go into the Wednesday's meeting, and my instructor may put some description here about, what's coming up. Oh, online lecture, bring workbook number 2. You can also choose to RSVP, so I can accept or decline the meeting. I mean, if you're declining the meeting, maybe let your instructor know why. Hey, I have a doctor's appointment. Also probably a good idea just to reach out to them separately. So either way, I will join the class. It's Monday at 1 p.m. I'll join the class, and we'll see what the meeting looks like. So I'm going to join the meeting. Then I get a screen that pops up, and it looks like this. So I can choose whether to turn my camera on or my camera off. And then I would choose most likely to use computer audio. So I'm not going to use any audio right now just because of the way we're recording, but I would choose don't use audio. And that would be your mic will be muted when you join. So then I'll join the meeting. Awesome. So now here I am in the meeting with Zach Hartle. And now I could pretend he's, presenting up here. I can view his screen. A couple handy features to note, or if it's a little zoomed in on him, I can click these little ellipses in the bottom corner, and I can pin him. So that's going to just make his screen large. The other thing I can do when his camera is on is I can fit to frame, and it will actually resize the video to look a lot better. Then I have some controls up here in the top. So there's show participants, which I probably won't use, but then there's show conversation. So if my instructor asks a question or says good morning, and I'm uncomfortable with my mic on, I could say good morning, and I can put that right in the chat. That's a really handy feature. The next big feature is this raise hand feature. So let's say my instructor's teaching, and they say, okay, is there any questions? You can raise your hand by clicking that button, and it will show you that you've got a raised hand, and then your instructor can knows that you're wanting to say something, so you can then turn on your microphone and speak. Now, a couple other features. You can go into more actions. There's a lot here. Device settings is a big one. So this is where you would set what speakers and what microphones are going to be actually working. And which camera, right? So if you're just using a laptop, it's probably just your system settings. You can access some meeting details here as well. This is all the info that was in the meeting request. You can turn on live captions if you want. There's also this recording feature. Now, we're not going to touch this. We're going to let our instructors deal with the recording. But if you want them to record, just shoot them a quick message and remind them to record. Because sometimes as instructors, we forget. I can turn my camera on and off. And I can turn my audio on and off using that button. Usually it's just mic because I've actually got my speakers turned off. And then if I ever wanted to share a screen, I can click this share screen button. One cool thing that I didn't talk about, I guess, is when we're in this chat function, there's lots of other features down here. You know, I can, again, use the formatting. I can throw in a file. I can use emoticons. So if teacher says, oh, is everything all good? We can say, yeah, it's all cool, man, right? I can use some GIFs and some different stickers. Again, I want to be a little bit careful with this as we want to keep it appropriate. But big thing is here is when I'm done the meeting, I want to ensure that I leave the meeting. Right, so now the meeting is ended. And I can see that it goes, nobody is in the meeting on my calendar. I can see that it goes now back to normal. Now what would happen is if I want to go back into that meeting, what I can do is I can double click on the meeting and I can go up here to the top left corner where it says chat. Now the reason I would want to do this is if the meeting was recorded, which this one was not, unfortunately we should have, but if the meeting was recorded, you would be able to access the recording right here at the bottom. It would say see recording and you would be able to click that and you would be able to access that recording. All right, so that's a really helpful feature if you miss a lecture or you want to go back and revisit something. And then you can also see all the chat. So if the instructor talked about something or someone asked a question and you wanted to go back to that, you could revisit that here. So a really cool, handy feature there. Which takes us back over, and now what I want to discuss is the chat function. So what I've got here is a chat function. So a chat is more like an instant messaging or a private messaging between you and basically whoever you want. So this would be a good, if I wanted to reach out to my instructor or a fellow student, I could start a new chat and I could type in my instructor's name. And I would say, oh, I let Zach know a while ago I'd be late. And then I could ask Zach another question like, maybe I was late for class today. I could say, sorry, I was late. Sorry, I was late for class today. My roommate had car troubles, right? Just to let your instructor know why you were late, right? And then what could happen is maybe your instructor will get that. And when you've left this screen, gone back to your Teams page, they will respond to you and you'll see that little notification pop up here in the chat. I can go back and I can read that notification. So Zach said, no problem. Awesome. We're all good. So that's what's handy about the chat function. Also, if I ever needed to call Zach, I could be like, hey, could we have a quick call? Up here is where I could access those functions. I could have a video call or just an audio call directly with the person I'm chatting with. The next tab up here is the activity tab. The activity tab just shows me all of my notifications whenever people give me thumbs up or anything like that. So let's say my instructor gave me a thumbs up to my chat. That would actually just show up here in my activity feed. So, Zach gave me a thumbs up. Perfect. One other feature that we may or may not see, depending on your group, would be what's called a class notebook. So here I am in a code course. And I can go into the code channel. again, where everything is stored, right? Here's all of my posts. There was all the old meetings. Here's the meeting from today, right? I can expand and see the chat. I find going through here to find all of the meetings very difficult just because it's all kind of stored in a big pile. That's why we like to use that calendar function. Either way, so I'm in the code. What I can do is click this notes up here. And if your instructor has it set up, this will have a class notebook where we can either collaborate or at the very least view the lecture notes from different lectures. So the way I can navigate this is I can do it right within Teams. Right, here's lecture notes. You know, maybe there was some lecture notes from today. I find it really good to open in the browser. It just works a little bit quicker and better online. And that was the OneNote that we talked about right at the beginning of the video. So right before we kind of wrap up, the last thing I want to touch on is just different settings. So in order to change any settings, I'm going to go up here to the top right-hand corner. And what I want all of you to do, whether you're my student or not, is the very first setting I want you to change is I want you to change your picture. So as instructors, we don't like looking at a bunch of circles with people's initials in them. We like to see a picture. So you can hit change picture there and you can upload a picture. I'm going to go right from my desktop and I took a selfie of myself. Here I am, you know, I'm Michael Faraday, electrical student. So I'm going to insert that picture and hit save. And now that little picture shows up everywhere and it's just a little bit more personal. So we're not looking at a bunch of dots on a screen. Some of the other important settings, if you're available or busy, do not disturb. I can also set a duration. So I can say, okay, I'm going to be, you know, do not disturb for 2 hours because I'm studying. So then in that setting, you'll get no notifications, no sounds or anything like that. And then I can check for updates there, but the big one is the settings. So within settings, there's dark mode. You know, if you're staring at the screen all day long, sometimes it's a little nice to go into dark mode. I can choose to see all my stuff as a grid or a list. I much prefer a list. I can choose whether to auto start or open the application in the background. You can go through privacy settings, notification settings. If you're getting too many notifications, you can definitely come in and adjust your settings. Device settings as well. So you can kind of go through and see all of those settings. So now again, I really hope this helps. Hopefully this is a useful video for you as you kind of adventure into your online learning. Right, the big thing to keep on track of your work, I strongly recommend using this calendar to keep track of all your upcoming classes. And I really do like the notebook as well, OneNote, but that's just a personal preference. I don't mind the digital notes. So again, thank you so much for watching. I have a couple other videos that are just going to pop up here on the left-hand side. Those videos are, if you are using Microsoft Office 365 and you want to use the OneDrive app to scan things to a PDF, so if you're doing assignments, you can do that. And then the second video is how to upload those directly into D2L, which is a learning management system that I use for my own courses. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you're an electrical student, take a look at some of my other videos, and hopefully they all help. Thank you so much for watching.